Hi and good afternoon and welcome back to my video series on how to be an awesome paralegal, legal assistant, or legal secretary. Now, we just learned that once an attorney gets hired on to a case, the production begins, and it's important to document everything that happens in a case because time equals money. Now, an area in a litigation case, I feel that a lot of time and a lot of emphasis and a lot of organization and a lot of thought process goes into is the discovery that happens in the case. And that happens, of course, before trial. And I'm just going to go over some of the later in. I'll get in over some things that we do in discovery, but for right now, I'm just trying to keep track with the production and the money emphasis related to it. And it's important to understand that discovery does have deadlines, and if you have to be very careful to check your rules and calculate your deadlines in accordance. If the rules say it's calculated by how you received it, you are going to want to calculate that accordingly, because in some certain places you may be facing a compelling motion if you don't respond, and of course ultimately sanctions. And sanctions are basically time spent for an attorney to say that you didn't answer and things like that. So I've seen some pretty hefty sanctions just by like having two, bank records or something missing from a case. Another attorney was awarded his sanctions just because it wasn't submitted by a certain time. And of course, we'll get into like how you can request extensions and how to be cordial and to get that done. Because if you do need an extension, it's good to have a method of communicating with the other side. And now I kind of want to break into a little section here on the side note that just because a defendant or a plaintiff is being hired, of course everybody has if you're in a case, so it's assumed that a litigation is, a battle of who's right or who's wrong. That doesn't mean that it's a bully fight or a competition between paralegals, and generally between attorneys, and we are generally cordial, and we are nice, and we are understanding to the needs and things of other offices. If there's a legal secretary that needs anything, I'm like, call me, and if you need anything, if you need the Word document for whatever documentation, that way you don't have to type it, a legal secretary in another office, I will offer that to them if they need that assistance. So generally it's nice to, help out your fellow legal secretaries, because you never know if you're ever going to need something, because it's not a battle, or you have to have this identity of being rude to the other side just because you are in a litigation case. So it's good to, be friendly with the other side. They're there to help assist. They're there, of course, to gain knowledge and protect their client's interest at the same time, but they are not there to generally fight with you. So I do want to make that clear. But if you don't follow the rules and you don't follow the deadlines, you could be facing some sanctions. And of course, that's applicable in the course of law. So it's going to happen. So it doesn't mean that, they're just taking advantage of what's going on in a case for the best interest of their client. And it's not necessarily anything against you, but you do want to make sure you try to follow those deadlines that you can. And that's why it's very important as a legal secretary to come in and document all deadlines on discovery, because whatever you're doing, you're spending a lot of money and time organizing the discovery in a case. You want to be making sure that you take care of the deadlines and things like that. And I'm going to have it checked out, but I'm going to see if I'm actually able to possibly list, to help out paralegals here in Harris County, if it's actually okay for me to publish or list, of course, the civil rules and things like that are public information, if I can just go ahead and share that information with you, or if I disseminated that information, if it would be considered potentially legal advice. And so, I just want to be cautious at the same time while doing these videos, trying to help people get an understanding of what a paralegal does and her role working under the supervision of an attorney, but at the same time, I want to make sure that if I do speak any information in these videos, that you do need to go back and make sure that rules and things like that, because they do change. Sometimes they change. They add something every year and things like that. So the rules are always changing. You've got to stay updated on the time. So it's very important to go and check the deadlines and things like that. And you do that by looking at the rules.